This meeting of the Code Enforcement Board of the City of Cape Canaveral is now called to order. It's approximately 6:08. A couple of technical difficulties there. Would the Secretary please call the roll?
Christopher Cloney.
Here.
Walter Godfrey. Never. James Hale.
Here.
Charles Hartley.
Here.
Paula Collins.
Here.
Inez Stone.
Here.
Mary Russell.
Here. That didn't sound balanced sound-wise to me. I think you're sitting way too far back from your, if you want to be heard tonight, Chris, you're going to have to sit up straight.
I don't want to be here.
Okay. Under new business, we need to establish the next meeting date, and honoring the month of December, we're not going to meet again until January the 23rd. If you already know that you're not going to be here, let Patsy know, and if you find out between now and then that you're not going to be here, let her know, so we'll make sure we have a quorum. And we need to approve the minutes of the meeting of the 19th of September, and I just remembered what Brian told me I was supposed to do. We are broadcasting live, sound and fury, I should say. No, that's not sound and speech. So if you haven't had a chance to watch, I watched the city council meeting the other night online, and it was a good, clear picture, a good sound. So I was pleased with the way it went. Okay. We need a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of September the 19th, 2019. Are there any changes to those minutes as published? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as published.
I so move.
And a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. I heard Chris loud and clear on that one. Let's vote on those minutes. Please call the roll.
Christopher Cloney.
4.
James Hale.
4.
Charles Hartley.
4.
Paula Collins.
4.
Inez Stone.
4.
Mary Russell.
4. We have no compliance hearings tonight. All we have are public hearings, and they're all new cases. The first one is case number 2019-316, violation of section 302.4 weeds, 304.7. This is property located at 283 East Central Avenue, owned by Charles and Helen Penziak, LLC, with Charles Penziak, the registered agent. What you got there, Brian? Is this yours?
Yes, they're all mine.
They're all done?
No, they're all
Oh,
mine.
they're all your cases. Got it.
Yes. Real quick, before we go, I need to do a little bit of administrative housekeeping. The dates on the affidavit for the notice of hearing that's in your packet were incorrect. That was a clerical error on my part. A new affidavit of posting with the correct dates was completed, signed, and notarized. I don't know if you, Jen, do I need to give copies to everybody? I do have copies if you would like me to do that.
I would at least pass it along and then down to Patsy for the record, but so everybody can lay eyes on it. I
Okay,
mean,
let
you're
me-
testifying too, of course, so.
Yes, let me,
Is this for
But
all
if it's
6?
going to be submitted,
Is this for all 6 cases?
no, that's for the first case that we're doing.
Okay.
The case number 19-316.
thank you.
I think the ones that you have, the affidavit that you have says October, and that was obviously wrong. And I do have pictures of the posting to show the dates.
Okey doke. Okay, Brian, I think we're ready.
Okay, case number 19-316, Charles and Helen Penziak. Address is 283 East Central Boulevard. Parcel ID is on the board. Violations for property maintenance. Section 302, exterior property areas. 302.4, specifically weeds. Section 304, exterior structure. 304.7, specifically roofs and drainage of the International Property Maintenance Code. These are the violations, just so you can see exactly what the International Property Maintenance Code states. That's for the first, the weeds, 302.4. Good?
Okay,
And this is for the 304.7 roofs and drainage, directly out of the International Property Maintenance Code. Yes, sure.
I just wanted to mention that when the city adopted the International Property Maintenance Code, that ordinance, there was the slightest change to 302.4, which revised it to insert in excess of 12 inches rather than 6, and I just wanted to point it out. Since 302.4
Well, that's important. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, you're fine.
okay.
Good. The notification summary is notice of violation was sent on, let me rephrase, sorry. The notice of violation was posted on the property on 10/16/2019 in accordance with Florida Statute 162.12 notices due to property owner's refusal to accept the certified mailing. I'll go a little more elaborate in a second. The notice of hearing was posted on the property in accordance with Florida Statute 162.12 notices on 11/7/2019, once again due to the property owner's previous refusals to accept certified mailings. This is the property on East Central Boulevard. It's the vacant townhomes.
Just that one portion?
Just the one portion was the only one that was in the complaint
Okay,
that I received. Staff report is on 4/22/2019, received an anonymous complaint via email stating a portion of the soffits and fascia were missing. 4/25/2019, I conducted a site visit and observed a portion of the soffits and fascia were missing. 5/3/2019, a courtesy letter was sent to the property owner via certified mail. 5/28/2019, the certified letter was returned as unclaimed. 6/6/2019, a courtesy letter was sent to the property owner via regular mail. 7/17/2019, NOV was sent to the property owner via certified mail. On 7/23/2019, staff received a letter from the property owner requesting information in regards to the complainant. 7/24, staff received a second letter. It was basically exactly the same as the first letter, he just brought it back into us. 7/24/2019, I sent a letter via regular mail to the property owner in response to his request for information. 8/29/2019, staff received another complaint regarding property condition via email.
question about the notifications on the 23rd and 24th. He
Yes.
wanted to know who had filed the complaint? Is that the
Yes,
bottom
he
line
wanted
there?
information on the complainant.
Complainant.
I-
Okay, got it.
I have that, you'll see it in a minute. Reinspection, 9/6/2019, a reinspection of the property was conducted. Staff observed the property was overgrown, along with the soffit and fascia had not been repaired. 9/9/2019, notice of violation was returned as unclaimed. 10/11/2019, a revised notice of violation was sent via certified mail to the property owner. 10/16/2019, a search of the Postal Service tracking system revealed the certified letter sent was refused on 10/15/2019 by the addressee. A notice of legal delivery along with the revised notice of violation was sent on 10/16/2019, and the property was also posted the same day. 11/5/2019, a reinspection of the property was conducted and staff observed the property had been mowed, however, the soffit and fascia had not been repaired. 11/13/2019, staff received a letter from the property owner stating he would not be available to attend the code board meeting. 11/21/2019, reinspection of the property was conducted and staff observed the soffit and fascia had not been repaired. Real quick. In the first, and I'm gonna present these as exhibit 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first courtesy letter that was sent to the owner had no time frame on it. I'll explain why I'm going through this in a second, but it had no time frame on it. I simply sent him a courtesy letter, like we do a lot, asking him to repair the fascia and the soffit. It's one small section, you'll see it in the photos. We asked him just to repair that. Then he responded with the letter that you were questioning, asking about complainant information. I then sent him another letter. The first courtesy letter was sent on June 6th. He sent one, as I just showed, on July 23rd. I sent another letter July 24th. Gave him the information he requested, and at the bottom of my letter, I stated to him, please repair or replace damaged soffits. So for the second time, I've asked him to do that without giving him a time frame. And I'll submit these.
You don't characteristically put the time frame on there on the first 2 or 3 notices. And this depends on
a courtesy
those.
letter, it depends. I'll have these. It depends on a courtesy letter. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It depends on the
Severity of the issue?
exactly. It was, as you're going to see in the photos, it was not that life safety in nature. Okay, a revised notice of violation was posted on his property on October 16th, which required, this is when we give him a date, October 16th, required that he bring the property into compliance per the International Property Maintenance Code within 20 days, which would have been November 5th. November 5th, a site visit was conducted and the property was still in violation. A notice of hearing was sent to the property owner and posted on the property on November 7th, in accordance with 162, which states at least 10 days prior to the meeting. It was actually 14 days prior. We also, in our notice of hearings, as you have seen, you've read them, it states that we also put in the notice of violation as Exhibit A or what have you, because that's what he's going for, is the notice. So that was also put inside the notice of hearing. Since the November 13th was the last letter that he sent to us, and that is Exhibit 4. The rest of the packet is just the notice of violation that he copied and put in there. So it's actually just the top letter that's
Fair enough.
really perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. What is City Watch?
City Watch is an anonymous individual who has filed complaints with the city via his email.
Okay.
Okay, since the first courtesy letter and the subsequent letters, the property owner has had 168 days to bring the property into compliance. The reason why I bring this up is, as you've read in his letter, he is stating to the city manager and my supervisor that he has only had, per the letters, 14 days. So the reason why I bring this up isn't to solidify my case. It's simply to get it on record where this began and where we're at today, and how many days that he has had to bring this property into compliance.
At no point does he mention why he refused to accept letters?
No. I do know, dealing with him in the past, he does not normally accept certified mailings. We normally have to post his properties or send him a regular mail. Okay, the first picture shows on July 3rd. You can see in the red circle, you can see the soffit and the fascia missing. Small portion. You can see where it's the wood behind it's actually getting deteriorated because the fascia's missing. This is how it looked on September 6th with the overgrown weeds in the grass. Another picture from September 6th.
Brian, when was the last time there was any building activity on this property? You have that information anywhere? You estimating 20 years?
Probably. When it was,
At
he never
least.
actually moved or
It was
did
never
anything with this property once it was completed.
No.
Did he ever pull what's the thing about certificate of occupancy?
Everything's done. Everything's legal on it. It's just
It just sits.
vacant. He doesn't want to do anything with it.
Okay.
I think the last time I noticed anybody in there was, he was in there for a little bit. This is the posting on October 16th of 2019, where I posted his property. And that's the posting sitting in front of 283 East Central. This is November 5th of 2019. The grass has been mowed. You can tell that somebody's come by and sprayed the weeds and stuff because they're starting to die. However, the fascia and that portion of the soffit is still missing. And as you can tell, this is a little closer picture. You can tell that it's deteriorating. This is the posting on November 7th of 2019 in front of 283 East Central. And both of those postings were removed by the property owner. And this is today. You can tell that the parking area is, the weeds are pretty much gone. The grass has been mowed.
Go back that previous picture. Is that sunlight shining through, or does it look like that parking area has just been restriped?
No, it hasn't been restriped. You get up close to it, you can tell. Not that I did, because it's no trespassing. And there's a picture today of the same small spot that's missing. The property representative is not here today. So, do you have any questions?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Perhaps because I was raised by wolves in a cave, I don't know
We know this.
what soffits and fascia are, which is what the courtesy letter was about. And yet the violation cites roofs and drainage, and it says the roof and flashing. shall be sound and tight. So is flashing part of soffit and fascia?
Yes, it's the part that you're looking at there. It keeps the rain from getting in. It keeps it sealed. And and if I'm not mistaken, I don't have that, but if I'm not mistaken, it states that it needs to be sealed from the weather. Is that what it states? I'm sorry.
Well, you're right. It says not have defects that admit rain.
Yes. And that's the portion there. And what we're doing is we're just labeling that to let him know where we're talking about specifically.
So it would be the part closest to the sky, as it were. That's the flashing, and that's missing, and that's letting the wood underneath.
Yes, sir.
That piece that you talked about, the closer to the ground that's missing, is that a violation in itself?
Yes, sir, because it emits rain. Even if he had the flashing on there, it could still emit rain. It could still emit the weather underneath it to allow it to deteriorate.
I will note one thing, the flashing is normally part of a roof replacement. The fascia is the board that is attached
Too.
to that, okay,
Flashing is generally metallic in nature,
yes,
and it's to direct the water away from the board behind it.
that's
If
correct.
there were gutters, the gutter would hide that.
Also it keeps varmints out.
That's
Yes.
correct. The soffit would keep varmints out.
And the words fascia and soffit are to show the owner exactly what we are looking at that's admitting the weather, admitting the rain. If you replace these, it keeps it from happening. It keeps that water from coming in. It's not, this roof here with that missing is not sound.
Well, I think in fairness, his letter back to you all, clearly he knows what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else have a question? Brian, you have a recommendation, or Charlie, were you fixing to ask a question? Go
No, I
ahead.
was just gonna, just to reiterate, the first, we had the first official notice for the purpose of the board is the November 16th, 19 notice, or do we have another?
The first official
Official
notice
notice
was
of the city is what dated that he refused.
the first official notice to him was the very first notice of violation.
Okay,
The courtesy letters aren't technically official, they're just, this is what we would like you to do. We haven't, we've
just
only,
put you
we've
on
only
notice.
advised him of the violation. In the notice of violation, now we are actually telling you, you have X amount of days to correct that. So the very first official letter would be the first notice of violation.
Okay. Brian, you have a recommendation from the city's perspective, since there was no one here for the property representatives?
No, there's nobody here, sorry. Okay, based on testimony and evidence submitted at this hearing, staff respectfully requests that the Code Enforcement Board find the respondent in violation of the International Property Maintenance Code, specifically Section 304.7 roofs and drainage, and give the respondent until January 22nd, 2020 to come into compliance or a fine in the amount of $100 for the first day and $75 every day thereafter until compliance is confirmed by the Code Enforcement Officer and all costs associated with enforcement of the violation be imposed.
Works for you?
I think that sounds right.
Okay, let's have a motion.
I move we accept staff recommendation.
Second?
Motion and a second to accept staff recommendation. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call the vote.
4.
James Hale,
4.
Charles Hartley,
Or,
Paula Collins,
4.
Inez Stone,
4.
Mary Russell.
4. Okey-doke, I hope you get a good response to this.
I do.
All right, moving on down to item number 2 on tonight's agenda. This is case number 19-339, Hidden Harbor Owners Association, Inc., care of Dragon Property Management, LLC, Kathy Watts, registered agent. Mr. Palmer. You're up again.
This is case number 19339. Address is 8699 Astronaut Boulevard, Cape Canaveral, Florida. Parcel ID is on the board. Violation is for non-conforming sign. The non-conforming sign section is on your screens. We've been through this.
A few times.
There's the section that deals with the pole signs and the termination by amortization. I'm not going to try that again.
Amortization?
Thank you. The notice of violation was sent on 6/19. Did somebody need to go back? Oh, I thought I heard someone
No,
say
we're
something.
good.
Notice of violation was sent on 6/19 of 2019 with a return receipt of 7/5/2019 to Hidden Harbor Owners Association, care of Dragon Property Management, Kathy Watts. The notice of hearing was sent on 11/7 of 2019 with a return receipt of 11/14/2019 to Hidden Harbor Owners Association, care of Dragon Property Management, Kathy Watts. This is the property in question just north of Publix. 12/2/2015, we sent a letter to the property owners about their signs and what city council had ruled or passed. On 2/15 of 2018, we sent a second letter to property owners. On 6/19 of 2019, notice of violation was sent to the property owner. 7/8 of 2019, registered agent contacted staff stating she would have a sign company submit a permit to bring the property into compliance. On 11/20 of 2019, the registered agent contacted staff stating Kendall Signs would be applying for a permit to bring the sign into compliance. This is the sign we are talking about. Just for the record, she had gotten another sign company and they kind of hemmed and hawed and backed out on her. So she had to go back and ask Kendall Signs to do it. So they are already starting the process. And I spoke with her and I informed her that if she did not, she couldn't be available, she didn't need to be here. Told her what I was gonna, ask the board to do. She's fine with that.
Did she get any kind of time frame from Kendall Signs?
I don't know. They didn't give one to her. They didn't give one to us. Normally, they are very quick. Kendall Signs has been doing pretty much 95% of our pole sign renovations in the city, so they know exactly what we require. So that's really good to go with them. And so when she told me she was going with Kendall Signs, I was kind of happy about it because they already know what to do. I expect a call next week. That's what Kendall Signs has been doing. She's been calling me and telling me, look, this is what we got. This is how long it's going to take me. Because they do have to have engineering on it, and engineering takes a little bit. So and when they come in, they come directly to me, and I push them through the building official, and we get them right out. Probably that day, if not the next day. So we're turning these things around really quick so we can get all these signs taken care of.
Well, let's hear your proposal.
Wait, may I just ask?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What is it about the sign that's wrong?
It does not meet the definition of a pylon sign. It doesn't meet the definition of a monument sign. It doesn't meet a definition of any legal sign in the city of Cape Canaveral. It actually meets the definition of a pole sign. So the city council decided that they didn't like pole signs anymore in the city. So they asked everybody to change their pole signs. And as Mr. Hartley brought up to me earlier before the meeting, at one point in time back in 2014, city council informed the property owners that if you would like to come in now and get your sign, because this is supposed to be done by 2016, we'll work with you and offset the cost or maybe do, free permits or what have you. This was one of their things that they gave to them. That kind of ended in 2016 when all this was supposed to have happened. So we've actually been a lot lenient with with the business owners, and I've been going out and talking to them and giving them plenty of time to come into compliance and doing all this stuff. As you can tell, it's already 2019, almost 2020. And we decided to not force like this all upon people. So we started down there at the very end of A1A, and we started walking up one side, and we started walking up the other side, and we just nice and slowly to show them that we're not trying to force this, where you're not going to be able to do it right, we know you can't do it right away, so.
Had plenty of time.
Based on the testimony and evidence submitted at this hearing, staff respectfully requests that the Code Enforcement Board find the respondents in violation of Section 94-121,
That's a whole set.
non-conforming signs of the city
Yeah.
code. Great. I'm sorry, did you have a question?
They're doing homework.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm just being educated here.
I was just showing him a graphic
Oh,
of
this.
what
the
that is.
thing. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Give the respondent until January 22nd, 2020 to apply for and obtain a sign permit. Once again, I'm only asking them to apply and obtain the permit, and we can turn this permit around in 1 to 2 days, as long as the engineering is there. From the building department, or a fine in the amount of $100 for the first day and $50 every day thereafter until compliance is confirmed by the code enforcement officer and all costs associated with the enforcement of the violation be imposed.
So they need to realize that they don't have to have the sign complete, just the permit.
Yes, ma'am. And she is aware of that, and I told her, you have until the end, close to the end of January to get the application in and to obtain the permit, and I told her that we would expedite it. And I also informed her that if she gets the permit in and there's issues with it, per the building official, if it's us holding it up, then we would be more than happy to request an extension.
Okey-doke. Anybody have a question further?
Sounds fine.
Okay, let's have a motion.
I make a motion, we accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second. If there's no further questions or discussion, call the vote, please.
Christopher Cloney,
4.
James Hale,
4.
Charles Hartley,
Or
Paula Collins,
4.
Inez Stone,
4.
Mary Russell.
4.
And may I ask who made the motion?
James Hale.
Okay, thank you.
The second was Mr. Hartley.
Right, okay.
Okay. Same song, second verse.
Yes, ma'am.
This is case number 2019-340. Non-conforming signs, property at 7090 North Atlantic Avenue, Michael M. Notary et al., property owner.
Staff would like to table this until January code board meeting due to the property owner not signing for his notice of hearing and not being properly notified.
Postponed till the 20th, or to the January meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 4, case number 2019-342. I probably should have asked if anybody objected to the postponement.
I would so move, or by consent, or whatever.
There you go. We got that cleared. Now can we do the next one? 2019-342, non-conforming sign, Sylvana Barbieri, property owner, property at 7900 North Atlantic Avenue.
Address 7900 North Atlantic Avenue, parcel ID is on the board, violation is for non-conforming sign. Notice of violation was sent on 6/19 of 2018 with a return receipt of 6/21/2019 to, I'm not gonna try that because I'll probably butcher it. Notice of hearing was sent on 11/7 of 2019 and a return receipt of 11/13/2019 to the property owner. This is the property. We all know it as the car wash. Now it's going to be Fanny's Fried Chicken. 12/2 of 2015, there was a letter sent to the property owners about their signs. 12/15 of 2018, a second letter was sent out. 6/19 of 2019, a notice of violation was sent to the property owner. 7/1 of 2019, property owner contacted staff stating she would get a sign company to submit a permit to bring the property into compliance. On 11/19 of 2019, the property owner contacted staff stating she would like to have the sign removed and requested an extension until March 19th of 2020 to bring the property into compliance. And this is the sign. And like I said, I spoke with her also. The city is good with her request. So if I could go to my,
Certainly.
based on testimony and evidence submitted at this hearing, staff respectfully requests the Code Enforcement Board find the respondent in violation of section 94-121, non-conforming signs of the city code. Give the respondent until March 19th, 2020 to apply for and obtain a sign permit from the building department or a fine in the amount of $100 for the first day and $50 every day thereafter until compliance is confirmed by the code enforcement officer and all costs associated with the enforcement of the violation be imposed.
What's magic about March?
It's spring.
Has she been the property owner since the the code changed?
No. That's one of the things that went into my agreeing to give her a little more time.
Okay.
She literally just purchased the property, probably back when I originally sent the notice.
Okay.
I apologize, I have to excuse myself for a moment.
So,
Wife has me on a hydration diet, and it's kicking in.
so the, we still, 1, 2, 3.
Too much information.
Thank you, Mr. Hartley. Like I said, she was she purchased the property probably shortly after or before I sent that, the notice of violation out. The previous owner was informed he was selling the property, of course, so
Right.
he didn't want to do anything. When she informed us that she would like to just remove the sign, then we know that that's probably going to take a little bit more because there is no electricity to it right now. It's already been staved off. However, it's a little bit more to demo a sign than it is to just put a wrapping on it.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I asked her if March would be fine, and she said she'll have it done by January, February, but I
Okay.
gave her, I said, how's March for you? And she said, that'd be perfect.
Okay, doke. Any other questions? Hearing none, can we have a motion?
I move we accept staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second. If there are no questions or discussion, please call the vote.
4.
Charles Hartley,
4.
Paula Collins,
4.
Inez Stone,
4.
Mary Russell.
4.
Oh, you wait till you read.
We voted.
And talked about you.
Okey doke. Madam Attorney, do we need to allow him to vote? Or
If
what?
there was a quorum for the vote, he didn't hear the
And
motion.
I'll abstain in any event.
Okay, thank you. Cleared that right up. Next item, 2019-343, property, non-conforming sign, 7099 North Atlantic Avenue, Boston Realty Corporation, care of Jim Morris, registered agent. What do we got?
Staff would like to table this until January code board meeting due to the property owner not signing for his notice of hearing and not being properly notified.
One more.
Is there any objections to staff tabling that? Just to check with the board.
Oh, true. Anybody objecting?
No.
No objection.
No, no objection.
Just, we get to see Brian do his very thorough explanation again. Maybe you can tape it, Brian.
Yeah, that's right.
In case number 2019-403, violation of section 34-98, building appearance and maintenance, City of Cape Canaveral Code of Ordinances, 7620 North Atlantic Avenue, Trees for Squirrels, LLC, in care of Christine M. Stort's property owner.
This property is in compliance.
Of course.
I just wanted to hear you say trees for squirrels.
I want to see the sign.
This is not the sign. Does that mean her squirrel's nest needs to be further tucked tightly?
Are you pulling that from the agenda then?
Yeah, when I go
The
over
last
looked at
case
it, I
that's in
couldn't
compliance.
figure out which
just
sign
wanted
they
to
were
find
talking
the
about. The animal clinic, yeah.
If there's nothing else for the good of the group, you're excused. The meeting is adjourned.